Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Marnie. And this movie is directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and it came out in 1964, starring Sean Connery. And this is the only film that stars Sean Connery in any of Alfred Hitchcock's films. And I really thought this movie was great, and I really enjoyed it. And it was kind of a nice change of pace from watching all of his movies, Alfred Hitchcock films, with this one not so much being like a horror film or like a mystery suspense film in a horror kind of way. It's more or less kind of a characters in a way like discovering things about each other, a little bit of romance thrown in there that I kind of liked, and it's more or less diving into the head of our main character, Marnie, who is a criminal, but it's kind of also showing like everything that she's experiencing. And what makes it unique is that she's a criminal, but it's all kind of shown from a woman's perspective, which I thought was kind of fresh for Hitchcock films, or at least the ones that I'm really familiar with. And when the movie was done, I kind of eventually came to the thought process of how many Hitchcock films exist where the main character is a woman? Not many. First one that comes to my mind is The Birds. You know, it is kind of an ensemble, but for a while there is a main character, and to some extent, Psycho has a woman as the main character. And this movie has really great performances. My favorite performance was Sean Connery. I really loved following his characters. He had some really funny lines, and I could just listen to him talk for like 1,000 hours, and I would never be bored for like 1 second, is what I was thinking. And that's how much I enjoyed it, watching him on screen. He has really great screen presence, and just following these characters is really what kept me going, and I found them to be really interesting. There was always something to chew on, and the story kept going in places you didn't necessarily expect. And I did like how this movie builds suspense at certain points, and it just uses silence, no musical score. And I thought that was a nice restrained idea for this film, and it really added to the tension and the pacing for certain scenes. And when we do get music, it's used appropriately, I felt. Some of my criticisms with this movie is that there was some green screen in this movie that was kind of obvious. And there was one element to the story in terms of a character having something and just like not returning it. I was like, that was kind of odd. They didn't really acknowledge it all that much. But in terms of complaints, I didn't really have many issues. This movie is over 2 hours long, and I never was bored watching it. This movie also never once felt repetitive to me, surprisingly enough. There's enough going on to keep things interesting, and there's plenty of scenes that feel different from each other. Even if it is kind of exploring the same idea, there's something new added to it, or a few things added to it that makes it feel as though we're moving forward. We're not just being shown the same thing over and over again. And I also did notice Alfred Hitchcock's cameo in this movie. He was in it very early on in the film, which I found to be kind of funny. And overall, I did think that this was one of Alfred Hitchcock's best movies. Like, easily, I can come back to this movie at any point. I love the characters, I love the story, I love what it explores. Overall, it just sells me what I would want from a movie like this. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance. It's currently on Netflix if you want to watch it, so it should be pretty easy to find. Check it out. You don't really need to be familiar with any of Hitchcock's films, like I always say I feel. But I do feel as though it's true. So definitely check this movie out, and with all that being said, I'm going to give Marnie a 10 out of 10. Not a completely flawless film, but overall I do feel as though the positives far outweigh the negatives for me personally, and there's just too many good things in this movie that prevent it from being any lower than a 10 for me. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thought of Marnie, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and it's going to be for Blood Simple. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, Thank you for watching and have a great day.